Okay, so we have our foot position, which is as far under the bar as we can get it. So now, how do I want to grip the bar? You have two options here. And, well, let me first tell you where you should grip the bar. On a conventional deadlift, you should be gripping right outside your thighs. It's just the opposite on a sumo. It's right inside. So it should be, wherever your stance is, it should be right outside of that. Second thing, this is really critical. This is actually the fault that's happening when people raise their hips too fast. What's causing it? Again, they think a deadlift is a pull, not a push. A proper deadlift is a push against the ground, not a pull with your back. So, what is a really important thing to do to make sure you don't end up in that position is putting tension to the bar. That's an abstract idea to a lot of people, and how do you do it? The way I like to do it is to I actually pull up on the bar. Some people call it packing your lats, where you actually kind of retract your scapula down and try to touch your scapula to your butt. So I'll show you my version, and then I'll show you the packing your lats version. They're probably going to look different because my version just tends to work better for me. So what I'll do is, now I have my foot positioning. I'm gripping right outside of my thighs. I'll talk about grip right after I do this. And now, what am I going to do? What are my cues? I'm locked in position. I'm going to pull up on the bar, and I'm going to drive my heels in, and I'm going to try to travel the bar straight up. So, what that should look like, obviously what you're going to see, like I discussed before, is my back there's a lot more torso flexion in that version of my deadlift. But what's actually happening is I'm putting force to the bar before I ever make the cue to move. So as you can see here, there actually is a little bit of play in the bar. This is a stiffer powerlifting bar. Olympic bars are going to have a lot more bend, so you're going to need to pull the tension out a lot more on those. Or like Texas deadlift bars and stuff like that. So what are you trying to do? Again, you're trying to put tension to the bar. If there's slack in the bar, the weight is going to pull the slack out of you. So what I mean by that is you can have the most perfect starting position ever, but you don't pull the slack out of the bar, you just immediately try to grip and rip. What happens is it now pulls the slack out of your spine. So either you pull the slack out of the bar, or the bar pulls the slack out of you. So again, what's going to happen there? You're going to end up hunched over and stuck at lockout, and also at a higher risk for a disc injury. And unfortunately, I'm far too familiar with that. So let's review it again. And there's a couple things I'll try to go over right before I initiate the deadlift. So again, my stance is with the resistance as close to me as possible. I'm going to grip by bending at my torso down to the bar right outside of my legs. Now, from this position, how do I know where the optimal point of hip dip I need to have is? Well, for me, I mean, that's partly practice. You're going to find that. But what and how you're going to see that is, so obviously if I dip too far, look what's happening to my shin angle. It's now becoming more skewed, further away from 90 degrees. So you're going to see that to stay at 90, you can only dip so far. And also, the bigger thing too is the tension point on the bar. So you're going to find if you dip too low, there's no longer tension on the bar. The tension's now on your quads, because you're squatting. Again, what are you trying to do? You're trying to put the tension to the bar. It's a deadlift, it's not a squat. So if you're too high, there's no tension anywhere. Now watch, as I dip below, you're going to hear the noise of the bar coming up, without me even pulling. So I have my grip, and now I'm just going to shift my weight back to my heels, and slowly go back. And also, I'm going to start putting tension to the bar with my rhomboids and my traps. I guess the noise wasn't as clear there. So that's a really important thing with the conventional deadlift, is pulling the slack out of the bar. The other way to do it, there's actually a couple different variations. Some people, like you'll see Magnus, I can't remember what his name is, the guy who pulled 1,000 pounds. What does he do for his cue? And this is another way actually to get the bar close into you, because not everybody can comfortably get into this position where their shins are perpendicular to the floor. So they'll actually roll the bar into them. Again, anything is better than kicking the bar out away from you. That's a major problem. So there's two ways. You can pack your lats. You can use the bar to pack your lats, which is right there. You're wedging yourself in, and again, you can hear that noise. That means I'm putting the tension to the bar where it should be. Or you can roll the bar into you, which you'll see some people do. What does it allow you to do? It allows you to shift your weight back onto your heels and keep stability, which is difficult to do for some people, again, because that kind of is a point of instability. You're trying to take your own weight off of your toes and more back onto the back of or middle of your foot. Again, think about it. If you are in the right position and you look at your shin and you produce force, where are you going to be pushing through? If your shin's in this position, you have to be pushing through here. Now, if you're up here, you have to be pushing through here. So where's the motive force going to be? Where is it going to move you if you push force with the wrong angle? It's going to push me this way. So what does that mean is going to happen? Well, I'm really unstable now, and what's going to have to make up for that? My back. If you're too far back, which usually doesn't happen, well, it does happen, but when people miss a lift, they'll fall backwards. That's how you know that they have all of their weight on their heels. That's really not as much of a problem as forward. Forward's the biggest problem. So if your heel is lifting when you're deadlifting, you have a major, major problem.